So guys, we are here. We are at Bedi Investments. We have Madam Paris. She's a very interesting HR in the manufacturing industry, and we're going to talk to her today. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome.
Yes, so you can tell our audience at home who you are and what it is that you do.
My name is Paris Mbuthia, and I'm the HR and Corporate Affairs Manager at Bedi Investments Limited. We are a textile and apparel firm based in Nakuru, and we are based in the lower, we call it the lower industrial area, whereby we produce fabric, we produce garments. So when we say we are a textile and apparel firm, basically that's what we do. We produce the garments and the fabrics that you see. So when you see uniforms, it is us.
Wow.
When you see fabric, good fabric,
Yes,
it is us. Especially school uniform, we have done quite a good job there. So yes, that is what we do.
Okay, so being a HR in this company, can you give us a little bit of background on that? Did you study it, or what happened?
Yes, I did study HR, but my journey started very interestingly because I did not start with HR. I began with ICT.
Wow.
And I was doing ICT in a company that I think I owe a lot of credit to, despite having learned it, but I really got quite good experience in the company. I was very good.
Yeah.
And it is from then that I started being given other jobs. Basically, I was a secretary to the general manager. Wow. So that is how my journey now started. I was handling now the administrative part plus the ICT part. And so that is how I started being given responsibilities of leadership. And with time, they had no option. I just had to now go back and now study HR so that I'm able to go, with my day-to-day activities, and improving myself so that I was able to cope up with the industry. It also happened to have been a manufacturing industry, very big, on oils and edibles. So my journey started from ICT to HR, where I am right now. And yes, both out of practice and out of study. Yes.
So how was the transition from ICT to HR?
It was basically because of the responsibilities that were being given. So at one point, I had to break off from ICT and now concentrate on the administrative roles that was being given. So that is how I landed
in HR.
But HR is so dynamic, and I cannot tell you that there is any HR practitioner who really understands everybody. People are so dynamic. They're changed by environments. They're changed by situations and circumstances. They're changed by age. And so it's like we evolve.
Yeah, you're not at the same point.
You're not the same. Yes, it's like the way we grow up. What you were doing when you were young, you're not doing it when you're a teenager. You're not doing it as a young adult. You'll not do it as a mother or a father. You'll not do it as you grow old. We change. True. We change. So I can tell you, for HR, the most dynamic part about it is the people. Yes.
So how long have you been a HR in the manufacturing industry?
Wow. I think I've been a HR for about 20 years. 20
years. Yes. Guys, this is the experience that we're talking about. 20 years is not a small time. That's a long time.
It's
That's a full-blown adult.
Yes. So actually it is. And I can tell you, I always feel like I started yesterday.
Wow.
I feel like the journey
20 years.
Yes, it feels like yesterday, basically because of the dynamics of the people and the environments, the various companies that I've worked with, and also different leadership positions that I've held. Some being in the ministry, in a religious circle, in the church, others being on social circles, others being on county levels. So yeah, it has been quite a journey. And so it feels like yesterday.
Wow. Wow. So why did you decide to venture into the manufacturing industry as a HR?
Actually, I didn't venture. I found myself in it.
You just found, like, I'm here.
My first job, I landed in a manufacturing industry.
Wow.
And so it's where I began. It's where I began. And I kind of enjoy it. I love it because of those dynamics.
Yeah.
My personality, I think I'm a sanguine.
Yeah.
And so I get bored with monotony. I really get bored with monotony.
You like new things. You
I
switch
jump.
it up.
I jump. I like things that, are jogging up my mind.
Yeah.
I like challenges. So when something is monotonous, I just get bored.
Yeah. You want.
So I think I've stuck in it because there's always something challenging, something dynamic that, your heart keeps pumping, and I think that keeps me going.
Yeah, so you're like, I can't wait for what's to come next because of the...
And actually, most of the time, you're not sure about what is about to happen next. The environment could change, the people could change.
Yeah.
And so, you're just there like, okay, I don't know what will happen today. And so today's activities actually push you to tomorrow, might push you for the next 2 weeks and 1 month. And then again, they change.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So on that note, changing. According to what we know out here, we know that ukisikia unaitwa na HR, that's either being fired ama unapewa warning letter, Yes. Ama if you hear of a HR in a company, unajua kazi yake tu ni kuhire na kufire na story unaifunga hivyo.
Yes.
So tell us, is that true, or are there other roles that are attached to a HR?
The worst part is that HRs are feared and they're hated.
Yeah, that is very true.
So no matter how much you try to build your profile, there is always an aspect of that profile being damaged. Because basically humans hate rules and regulations.
They want freedom.
They hate being told what to do. They hate being monitored on what they're doing. They hate being evaluated.
Yeah.
They hate discipline. So everybody views a HR as, the worst person in a company. And but the HR is also a linkage between the management and the employees. As much as the HR might be viewed like the real, bad aspect, but the HR plays a very big role in the establishment of an organization, in balancing between management and the employees. Sometimes management might be too stringent, too harsh, but you might find that the HR comes in to actually put on the table the needs of the employees.
Exactly.
Sometimes management fails the HRs because maybe they're not able to implement what the HRs are proposing. And the HRs are on the ground. So they really know what is happening on the ground. So sometimes management might have a hard stand. Like, no, this cannot be implemented. We cannot do this for their own reasons. And so that is the point where now the employees feel that the HR is not doing enough. But also the HR helps the employees understand the requirements of management, what the management requires from them. They help the employees understand where the company would like to be or where they are going, because they basically bring this info from management and transit it downwards towards the employees. So they're able to have normal conversations with the employees and tell them, look, this is where the organization would like to be, or this is where we are at. Even when you're at a dead end. Even when the company is closing shop, it is the HR that comes down to the employees and says, you know what, we are closing shop because of reason A, B, C, D. And they normally don't relate in the same way management would relate. Sometimes management is hard fixed, sometimes hard pressed. Sometimes the change of dynamics, they feel that the changeover should be very quick. The HR will come and say, no, let us give it time. We need this much time frame because of legal issues. We need this much time because of psychological issues. This is the way we need to relate to the workers. And even if it is not allowed by management, the HR goes down and is able to relate to the employees in a better, softer way. So that they counter the reactions from the people, because basically it's human beings who are employed.
True.
So you have to find a soft spot and a soft way of relaying it to the worker. Sometimes they're very harsh because something needs to be done. Management is very strict and they need it like done. There's like no right discussion.
So, and you're in the front line of the battle, so you have to relate. You
need the job done. So it's like, guys, we need to do this, and this is the way we need to do it, and it is now. So that is the way, the time you hear wachana na huyu. This is the problem we have. This is the one person who has been really giving us help. But from management, it's a job that needs to be done. And the worst moment of a HR is during the firing time. The employees might view it as a time when the HR really enjoys.
Yeah.
Anapenda kufuta watu, you
Yeye
know.
anafuta tu back to back, hatulii, hatupay peace.
Akona watu wake, you know.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio raha yake. But let me tell you, and you'll ask any other HR, that is the worst moments of a HR. When you really have to call somebody to the office and tell them you're fired, or I need to let you go. We can no longer be able to keep up. And no, some of these moments is either because there is no work, that's, we call it redundancy, or disciplinary, especially on gross misconduct. That is the worst moment because there's no discussion. On gross misconduct, you show cause, and then you have to tell the person, we are sorry, your explanation was not acceptable, it was not satisfactory, and you have to leave now. So sometimes it's very emotional. You find the employee might start crying, others shake. Another one might faint after they leave your office because they're like, now reality has hit them. What's happening? So sometimes it's very, very, very hard. Also, the HR, apart from the normal roles, the HR comes in as a comfort. Sometimes you find employees who come in with different needs. Maybe they had a quarrel at home with their families, with their spouses. Some of them are sick. Some of them have financial issues, and they take you to be their comfort. Some of them need you as a confidant. They have this secret. An employee wants to relay their status, and they don't know who to tell. But it is eating them so much, they just feel they need to tell somebody.
I just have to let it out.
So they will come and tell you, by the way, this is my situation, this is my condition, what do I do? I can't tell anybody because they're going to discuss me, the whole factory. So what do I do? And you really have to have that general knowledge of what you're coping with. In my factory, they call me the doctor.
You have gotten a title. Where's the title coming from? Tell us more about that.
Anybody with a medical issue will come to me, and I'm not a doctor. But I don't know, they kind of feel like you'll have a solution to their problem. Now, from a religious background, sometimes you're able to help them. Depending now on the knowledge of the Bible. Sometimes you are able to, because of the experience and the knowledge you've acquired along the way, you're able to tell this one, no, this one you need to go and get a medical test. This one you need to see a specialist. This one you need to eat right. This one you need to get out of that environment. So a HR comes in sometimes as a comfort zone, whereby I've handled so many cases where the spouses have quarreled, and sometimes you have to call both spouses. And you can hear you can listen to the conversation where one points a finger towards the other one. Huyu anisikizangi, ni huyu aletangi pesa. No, this one has a mpango ya kando. No, this one has.
So a lot is happening. So aside from being a HR, you also become the therapist. And a counselor. You have to sit and listen to both sides and settle it. Wow.
And sometimes another one just wants somebody to talk to, especially now on management level. You might realize that a manager just wants to come and sit with you and just chat. Just chat.
Just chat with you.
They're looking for somebody who they can talk with naturally. Not work, but just a natural talk.
Just a natural chat.
Wow. So it's interesting.
Guys, you can hear that. HR kazi yake si kufire na kuhire peke yake. There's a lot more to a HR. So kama ulikuwa unapanga kufanya human resource pursue as a career, don't be scared. There's much more for you out there. And if Paris has done it for more than 20 years, right? You can also do it. So what's the difference between a normal HR and a manufacturing HR? Do you still do the same things? Like a HR who's working in a company, a normal company, do they have the same roles as you?
Yes, a HR is a HR. We all go through the same training. The only difference is the extras that you take, you know, and experience. I've hired a HR who has papers, but no experience.
Wow.
So basically, in the field of HR, experience matters a lot. But a HR is a HR because basically the company looks at your abilities, capabilities. Obviously, there's a hiring and firing, but what is the procedure behind it? And that is why now you have to really have the basics. And you need to to retain your employees. You have training to do. You have capacity building to do.
Yeah.
You have policies that need to be enforced. You have your strategic plans that need to be put in place. So the HR, depending now on the companies also, the companies are also very dynamic. And so you might find there's a difference between one company and another one. Some of them are very diverse. Some of them are very high leveled.
Yeah.
And so you find the HRs in different companies have different roles to play. For example, I might be a HR, but mine is oversight. And you might find a HR in another company is also the personnel and the HR and the admin and the accountant.
Anafanya kila kitu.
Anafanya kila kitu.
Yeah.
You might find in another place the HR is an advisor and has people working down the line. Many clerks, many assistants doing various like training. Maybe there's somebody who is doing it. You have another one who is seeing that the policies are being done. There's another one carrying out audits. So you might find these at down levels. But in another company, you might find the HR is everything.
Yeah.
Oversees the audits, make sure that all the legal aspects are met. Does the hiring, does the firing, you know. So the dynamics differ because of the organizations that HRs work for. But the baseline is that yes, a HR will be a HR. It's now the challenges in an organization that now bring out the diversification and separators. Yes.